Hey everybody, Jon Hinds here, and today I am walking with my wife Jessica, and we're walking Holly. If she can find her. There she is.
Yay.
Anyways, we actually were having a really interesting conversation about training, and you know, my last video was a lot about forward and challenging yourself to evolve. But a very interesting point with that is that in order to have a forward moving training regime of results, getting positive results, it is not always based on every single workout I must improve. Everything I must do harder, I always must do more and more. It's about, you know, slow, gradual progression and having a balanced program, making sure that you incorporate proper rest into your regime as well is super important. Most people burn out, especially because they think every workout always I must improve, and that's just not the case.
Yeah.
When you're like 20, 19 and stuff like that, people don't understand burning out, and you always burn the candle at both ends basically. And when you get fatigued and stuff like that, your recuperation rate is so high that you really don't understand it, but then you eventually burn out at some point. But you don't, generally when you're that age, you don't put two and two together. As you get older, as you start to understand your body more, hopefully you begin to understand this is fatigue from my workout. This is nervous exhaustion from my workout, possibly from stress in life, possibly from environmental stress. Those are the big three, or nutritional stress, poor diet. So when you really want to improve and you really want to make gains and constantly move forward, like I was saying, it's very important that you're very smart about it and that you listen to your body. Because when you work to evolve, whether it is improving alignment, whether it is to improve your nutrition, or whether it is to improve your training levels of performance, it's sort of like a stair step. You improve a little bit, you take a step up, then you go for a little bit like this, and it's continually like that. And sometimes it might plateau, sometimes it might take little steps back, but if you really listen to your body, you can make incremental improvements for a long period, and then you need to let the body recoup a little bit. So Jessie, if you want to say a little bit about what we were talking about for you, and she's been training quite hard, if you want to tell them
Yeah,
about.
I've been training for Master of Sport in the jerk, and I've been doing pretty good. I've been progressing every single workout, and I've even jumped up my reps double in like a couple of weeks, a week and a half actually. And so it started to make me apprehensive about training, because every single workout that I was doing and a training thing that I was doing, I was increasing my reps, like constantly increasing. And all of a sudden I hit this point now that my reps are getting so high that I'm like, I don't know, I don't feel this workout. I feel kind of nervous about going in to do this workout. Yeah. And there's a lot of things that come into play for me, especially when it comes to like dealing with guilt. Like if I don't hit a certain number, or if I feel like I shouldn't train, there's this guilt thing that comes into it. And if I listen to a different thing, like listen to my body, like what Jon is talking about, instead of listening to what my mind is saying, because the mind loves to trick the hell out of you. And you know, you could push it and then overtrain, which is what I've done in the past. I've done that multiple times. So if I'm listening to what my body says, is my body ready to do it? Do I have enough sleep? Am I feeling good? And switch that. And if the answer is yes, then train. If the answer is like, no, I feel pretty fatigued, then cut it back a little bit. It doesn't mean, especially for somebody like, you know, who's older. I'm in my 40s now, and I don't have that 25 body anymore where I could just go, you know, and do it.
She actually has a better body now than she was 25.
Yeah, my 25 was pretty weak. It's embarrassing. But anyway, yeah, so anyway, I have to restructure my workouts, and if they change in the middle of my program, so be it. You know, I want to hit a certain thing at a certain time, but I can't overtrain. So taking
Yeah.
steps back. And so that's what I'm doing this week is now. And when I say like, okay, I'm going to go in now and I'm going to do this many reps, it was just a lot less than what I was normally what I would have done. I feel so much better and I actually want to train. And
Yeah.
that's the feeling that that's what I'm looking for. I don't want the guilt. I got to do it. I want to do this. I want to do this. And that's so different.
That single point is paramount. And most people make that mistake. The whole fitness industry makes that mistake. I feel that they feel like they have to exercise, that it's a chore. That shouldn't be the case. When we went out to play on the playground when we were little kids, we couldn't wait till the bell rang to go play. Exercise is like that. I love working out every single day. I love working out, but one of the things that I do is I really pay attention to how my body feels. If I'm fatigued after I've warmed up, if I'm fatigued, I ratchet it down to 50%. I work on technique most of the time. Sometimes I'm a knucklehead. But I'm helping Jessie, and I'm her coach on her GS training for programming it. And Jessie is also, like myself, we're members of the Knucklehead Club. And like she was saying, like we've all done as strength coaches, you go through those periods of where you constantly push the envelope and then you hit a wall. And that's a danger zone for just nervous exhaustion, injuries, because your body just breaks down at some point. So what we're mostly stressing to you guys is listen to your body. If you don't have that ability to listen to yourself and you constantly overdo it, then have somebody like I coach Jessie in this to help her stay on pace. Most of the time I actually have to pull the reins back on her because she wants to train again soon after, which is a good thing, but I got to pull the reins back to make sure that she gets adequate recovery between training sessions. And now we're running into a little bit different things. What she's talking about today is the mindset of feeling guilty for taking rest. And I heard one person say it was a great quote. They said, you gotta have balls to rest. You gotta have balls to recover. And it's a really good statement because most people they lack the patience, and that's why it's helpful for her. She has a coach, she listens to me, I just tell her this is what you're doing, and she's a great student, so she'll say okay. And that helps with people, and that's one of the reasons why we lay our programming out at the Monkey Bar Gym in a certain way, so that people, if you follow it and you lay out your training massive action plan, you should be on a balanced regime. And if you keep track of it and then you listen to your body when there's a difference between guilt and being fearful. There's a difference between your mind saying, oh, I'm tired and I can't do it, versus I have to do it. And that's where a coach helps you. And they'll see those things and they'll bring it out of you if you need to push through those points, which happens a lot of times.
Yeah.
It just happened last week for
She's
I gotta show you
like
this. She's completely tripping. I know. Holly, what are you doing? Look at how cute she is.
Your ears are inside
We had to have a little break there. But that's why coach helps a lot of times, because you need that person outside of yourself that will give you sage advice as to push it today. You're ready. You're just a little fearful to work out, versus those days where you're tired, but your ego and your mind starts saying, you're supposed to work out today.
Yeah.
So our big note for today, pay attention to how your spirit, your gut feels. And this is what we were talking about in moving forward. It's not always training harder. It's training smarter, listening to your body, really listening to your gut to say, is it my head saying that I'm scared of this workout? Or is it my head saying, do the workout, you're lazy and stuff like that, which a lot of people go through all the time. So any other parting words, hon?
No, I think that was good.
Okay.
Well, one thing I do have to say about having a coach is I sometimes, especially with a couple, husband-wife kind of thing, it's interesting. And we have some members at the gym who actually are in a similar situation that we are, where there's a coach and then there's an athlete and they're married. And I had to really learn how to listen to my coach. And this may even happen when you're not in a couple relationship like this, but really listen to your coach. Your coach is the expert. Listen to him. And if they tell you to do something, do it. Even if you're feeling fatigued, which is what he did to me not too long ago, is I was kind of feeling fatigued and he said, you're gonna have a great workout, and I did it and I beat it.
Yeah.
And he's also telling me, hey, now you're fatigued, you're communicating with me, Jessica, you're a little fatigued in this sense, it's a little different, so we're gonna ratchet it back. But listen to your coach if you've got one. Listen to that, and if you don't, then your coach is your body. It's gonna tell you, it's gonna tell you when you need to train and when you need to take it, you know, pull the reins back.
That was wisdom right there. Your coach is your body. That was an awesome statement, huh? Love that. We're going to end this on this then. So I hope this helps you guys. Hope it inspires you. If you dig it a lot, share it with your friends. And let's keep this moving forward. Peace.
Bye.